Since my last run, I've had a chance to think about what it means when last time I had to pulse the NOS button like this while I was riding, and what does that mean? And I've worked out what it means now, and I can use that with my next phase of development. Now, there's a lot of line in the NOS that runs along the seat there, underneath there, up around here, through the solenoid, out the solenoid, into there and into there, right? What was happening was I would adjust the fuel, which is down there, just that little head down there. I would adjust the fuel to run a certain amount, and then I'd turn the NOS up here to on, and I'd give it to, one full turn. 2 full turns was pretty well fully on. So I go to there as my starting point. I actually started here, and I'd just work the NOS up each time I had a little practice of it. And that was okay, sitting in the shed. But what's happening is that the NOS in the line is building up and stopping at the solenoid. I push the button, and then the excess pressure in the line would then rush through here and match the fuel that was going in, but then the pressure would drop and match what this was happening. So what I'm getting is an initial surge where the fuel and the NOS is balanced, and then the high pressure is exhausted, and I've got low pressure NOS now based on what I'm doing there, and then that's too rich. So basically I just have to turn the pressure up here more and or back the fuel off, a combination of the two. So a little bit more practice in the shed, where I sustain the brr for the button for a little bit longer, and then I take it out and test it. I've swapped the carbies over. The bigger carbie, which you see now all set up, it wanted slightly different jetting, like the pilot jet wanted to be slightly smaller, but generally the jetting's about the same, and it should work, I hope. This time, the fuel's about the same as last time, but I've turned the NOS up higher to maintain a higher pressure. It's still conservative. I have more fuel I can add, I have more NOS I can add, but I'll get there if I need to, but this is my first full NOS run. Okay, we need to talk about this. Go to the tacho first. That's nearly doing 9,000 revs. I didn't know these motors could do 9,000 revs. The power drops off at 6. This thing's still pushing into the wind at 9,000. I don't want to do that too often. Now let's go to the boost gauge. The boost gauge, I'm actually doing about 4 psi of boost, which there's no boost, but I'm showing boost. So what I'm thinking is happening at 9,000 revs, the inlet draft or the inlet track has got air coming in, the valve is closing, it's bouncing off the valve, coming back, the end's coming in, the two are colliding right where the nipple is, which is right on the head, which is like the old-fashioned 2-stroke boost bottle, and that's registering as boost on the gauge. Yeah, that's okay. Now go to the speedo. I'm doing 100 kilometers an hour. I done it, tick, good. I don't want to go here too often. I don't want to do any of this too often. Now I've got the Supercharged to think about. Something I have to think about is before I go any further. I've realised that this bike at this very point is a successful bike in its own right. It can do 100 kilometers an hour. It can NOS itself out from 6 to 9,000 revs. It runs, it works, it's a neat package, it rides nice. I could stop here and call it a success. Do I go under the blower?